we didn't give you guys an update sooner, but last night was a little bit crazy.
Tell me about it.
Kind of insane. Here is the story time. Yesterday we made a video of her looking at her boyfriend's location and it wasn't anywhere that she noticed. Right after that video ended, we ended up going to like his location, or like where his location was at,
which ended up to be his ex's house.
but got us to a church parking lot and like the house
driveway?
right next to it, because our like driveway is like almost in the church parking lot, and we had no idea whose house it was. It was still a little bit of daylight out. We're searching around on the floor parking lot thinking maybe he dropped his phone there.
So at this point I didn't know that was his ex's house, so I did call his mom just because I was genuinely worried and I wanted to make sure he was okay.
At this point I'm just like sitting here like, oh my gosh, am I gonna have to comfort her tonight? Am I gonna have to cry with her? When she called his mom, he actually answered. Her boyfriend answered.
After work he went to the Dick's parking lot with his friends because that's like
where everyone hangs out.
like
I guess like
yeah,
that's like the spot. I'll go and sit there with their tailgates open and hang out with his friends, and I guess like his friends is friends with his ex, and his ex ended up pulling up.
He pulls up to where all the guys are hanging out. They sit in the back of their trucks. Boyfriend immediately got back in the truck, leaving his phone on the tailgate
Of one of his friends' cars,
Yeah.
or like I guess they were all sitting in the back, and he left his...
I mean, we weren't there. We don't really know, but like
From what we heard, like he left his phone on the back of like the little tailgate thing.
because as soon as she pulled up, he jumped in.
From what we know, not from him, from other girls, he doesn't really speak on his ex, but from other girls, she's like a little bit cuckoo. When a girl hears that, oh, his ex was crazy, why was she crazy? But I think she might really be. I mean, we don't know the exact time, but he was only like a couple minutes down the road, I guess, from like what we're understanding, realizing that he doesn't have his phone, so he went back and she had already left with his phone.
Thinking it was the funniest thing in the world, posting on her private story.
Not forgetting that I'm friends with the girl that was there, and I seen it on her private story. Posting, now he's gonna have to come home if he wants his phone back. Girl, you guys dated like 2 years ago!
And having all the addresses in my notes is kind of a little bit of a stretch. I have a couple of like his close family and his close friends, but he put them in my notes for me. Him and I laugh about it all the time. We think it's the funniest thing ever that I have that in my phone.
Do you want me help a little bit? Use this brush and just kind of like,
Trust the process.
Okay.
I have to go soon, so we're gonna kind of speed up the rest and leave out the boring details.
Basically, he refused to go get his phone. She even offered to like go with him to his ex's house.
But he wanted to avoid her altogether, so this morning he bought a new phone.
I don't know his friends that well, but my question is, why did they let her take it?
I don't know. To sum it up, I'm not a control freak. My boyfriend's not a cheater, and he was just at the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong group of people. But I have to go now. I'm going to a Halloween party.
And you're dressed up as who?
His ex.
My school was so strict. I remember the time the principal gave my whole entire class in school suspension. Do y'all know what it takes for a whole class to get in school suspension? Or even just to get it alone is not good at all. But get ready with me for school story time on how my full entire class got in school suspension. Before we start the video, if this gets on your For You page, please comment For You page, because I try to notice and follow some people back who comment For You page. Please don't forget to comment For You page. Look at that shade match. Okay, so we had just came back from lunch and we were about to take our quiz or whatever. And this one girl who was not supposed to be in our class walks in, and she was arguing with this one girl. Like, they were talking at first because I guess she lost her water bottle and she blamed it on her. I don't know. But it kind of escalated a little bit, and the one girl went outside and the other girl followed. I guess the one girl was trying to be mature about the situation, but the other girl had walked out. So, and then they started getting louder. So then that's when like 3 students ran outside, and that's when the whole class was just like, oh, we're about to take this very important test. And our teacher is on maternity leave, so we have this substitute. At the time, I didn't like him, but then I started to like him. So we were the first class who runs out, and then the whole grade is in the hallway. Obviously, nothing happens because my science teacher gets one of the girls, and yeah, I mean, like, nothing happens. But here's the problem. We try and go back into the classroom, and we notice that the door is locked. This dude would not let us in the class. We're literally banging on the door because half of the class is outside. After standing out there for a while, the ESL teacher comes and gets us. We're in the dean's office. He would not let us back in the class. But literally, the whole grade was out there, so why are we the only ones being punished? Doesn't make sense. Being so for real, we were sitting in that room for like 2 hours straight because like we had absolutely nowhere to go. He comes back and he says that we're all going to get in school suspension, but on a different day. So, for example, 10 kids would go per a day until we were all done. But the story does not end. So let me know if y'all want a part 2. If you stayed all the way to the end, comment down below a pink heart in the comments. Bye, guys, and have a great day. 500,000 followers is crazy.
Oh my goodness, I love this question. I think.
Guys, I just went on the best first date, so get ready with me while we talk about it. So I've been talking to this guy for like 3-4 days. We started talking because he DM'd me from my F1 stuff. Y'all can go watch my Get Ready With Me to know all the details, but he is the finest man on earth. He's so cute. He's only in town for the week. He asked to take me to dinner. Hold on, I'm gonna go wash my face. And he had offered to drive, but I wanted to go drive myself because I was a little skeptical. Because he had told me he has a surprise after, and obviously I don't know him that well. Like, what is the surprise? Like, I'm literally gonna get kidnapped. I drive and I meet him at the restaurant. He was like waiting outside, but he was way cuter in person. And he didn't lie about his height like most guys. He was actually tall. So we go in and he opens my door and he's super nice to all the servers and everything. Already so many green flags. I was like, this feels a little too good to be true. Maybe I am getting kidnapped. He was really interested in my influencing, stuff like that, which was cool because a lot of times guys don't like to talk about that. He said he has friends who do it and it's like something he wants to do, so I thought that was other than that, he was so sweet and funny. I already thought he was funny, but just in person it was so good. Literally, I got pasta and he said something and it fell out of my mouth because I was choking. I was laughing. I was so embarrassed, but he didn't care. Then after dinner he said he wants to take me somewhere. He's still not telling me what the surprise is. Like, oh, my car's still here, like I'll just follow you in my car. He literally takes me to go get flowers. They're literally those right there. I realized what was happening. We like walk into the grocery store and he points to a bouquet of flowers. He was like, oh, do you think those are pretty? And obviously I was like, yes. And he picks them up and was like, let me get them for you. Kidding? And I was joking too, and I told him that my little sister, every time I get flowers, she's always like, why didn't you get me any? And he literally was like, let me get her some too. Are you kidding? Truly, I'm at a loss of words. And that was pretty much it. I drove back home and I gave my little sister her flowers. She literally thought it was so cool. But that was the best date ever. Like, what the heck? And he's leaving. Like, when? What? He doesn't live in the state and I'm so mad. That was like crazy. It was so much fun. But that was my update. And I'm so tired now, so I'm gonna go to bed. Bye guys, I love you.
My ex cheated on me with his ex, so I made him believe that I was unalive. So 6 months ago, my ex-boyfriend left me for, let's take a guess, for his ex. Recurrent theme, everybody knows I look like I just got punched in the eye, but so he left me 6 months ago for his ex. Mind you, he was always talking badly about his ex, and one thing that I can say for a fact is if your boyfriend is talking trash about his ex-girlfriend, it means he still has feelings for her. This is something I've learned, and it is very true, because sometimes we're fooled and we think, oh, he hates his ex, he would never go back. No, if he has any feelings, because indifference is the opposite of love. Hate is not. So if he's talking about his ex filled with hate, there's something fishy. So he basically broke up with me in the worst way possible. He was always saying his ex was abusive, blah blah blah. One day, out of nowhere, I wake up and I'm blocked everywhere. So no explanation, no nothing. And I find out through Instagram that they were together through a fake account that I created because, like I said, he had blocked me on everything all of a sudden. This was obviously one of the hardest times in my life. I almost unalived myself because it was completely heartbreaking. I mean, there's nothing worse than someone breaking up with you this way, just out of nowhere blocking you, and then you find out that they're with their ex that they were always claiming was abusive and whatnot. It was a very difficult and dark period of my life, as one can imagine. I was so heartbroken and I was so depressed that I think it was easier for me not to say anything. I left it alone for about 6 months. I left it alone. I didn't say anything. I was really bad. I knew he would eventually say something because it always is like this. They always do come back. So I did nothing. For 6 months, I did nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I moved on with my life as much as I could. But I knew one thing. I knew that if he ever were to come back, which I already said, I knew he would, I was going to do something. I was going to do something that would make him feel the guiltiest possible for what he had done to me. So I started thinking, what would that be? What would make someone feel the guiltiest possible for having done something like that? He does come back, I'm gonna make him regret treating me like shit, and I'm gonna tell him that I was unalived. I'm gonna tell you what I did and what happened, because he did. 6 months later, he did reach out.
Baby, tell me, how did you get so cold?
Going clubbing for the first time. We're wearing the tiniest corset top I own. I am low-key terrified because even though I just turned 21 this year, I am not a big going out person. I was also homeschooled literally my whole life, so I don't know how I'm gonna feel about clubbing. But if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this right. So I'm go big, go home on hair, makeup, outfit, everything. We also have to get tickets online for this because it's a techno night, so I guess there's some big DJs performing. So if I have one goal for tonight, I want to see if I can get into the DJ booth with the headliner. I know that's probably impossible, but if it does happen, you guys will know and I'll post about it on here. I feel like I always just see like videos of big influencers going into like the DJ booth stand, whatever it's called. But it's probably not possible because I literally don't know how one achieves that. I'm attempting to do a full beat, full cover, full glam club makeup look. This also needs to last us all night because it doesn't even start until 10. That might just be normal clubbing time though, I don't know. After this, I'm gonna go over to my friend's apartment and we're gonna pregame, and then me and her and Justice and her boyfriend are all gonna Uber together to the club where we'll be until 2 a.m. I'm about to set my makeup. I've never set it before because I need this to literally last me whole freaking night. I'm gonna see if I can do like a little inner corner without messing this up and add lashes. Please tell me that's cute. Big overlined baby doll lips. Fenty Glitter Bomb Obvi. We just need to add a little more sparkle. It's really giving club. Oh, needs to not move off of my face for the entire night. I'm gonna set it with hairspray. Do my hair and put on this tiny little top. Go to part 2.
Whenever I'm complaining about life, I just think about how I could be Sky Jackson right now. Like, oh lord, not even just pregnant, but pregnant by a loser, jobless bum at that. And everybody's cracking jokes, but nobody's talking about how that's like literally hell. Like, I literally cannot laugh at her situation. Like, I think about my life right now and I think about hers and I'm like, you know what? Whatever I was complaining about, suddenly it's never that serious. Oh, and if she stayed with that man after the comments that he made about Cameron boys, I would be losing respect because what? Like, I get it, he's the father of your baby, whatever, but he's literally useless. Like, I watched that video with my jaw on the floor. For him to say that Cameron was in his wood, all I will say is trust, he would never be heard from again if I was Sky Jackson. And the funny thing is I keep saying him. I don't even know that boy name. And you know what? This should really be a lesson for y'all. Like, if you know that your fine shite is insane, why are you allowing him access to you? Like the fine shite in one of my classes, it's like, yeah, you look good, but I'm like 99% sure that you're evil and you will and can destroy my life if I let you into my life, so immediately no. Because unlike y'all, I'm not putting myself in any traumatic situations for the plot. Sorry to clock you. Like, sometimes it's okay to just watch from a distance if you know that man is evil. Like, at least with Holly in DFG, ABC, DB, DBG, DEG? Do we care? You know who I'm talking about. At least with him, like, I can say that he's at least a good father for Halo. Like, even if their relationship didn't work out, I don't care what y'all say, he is genuinely a good dad. And yeah, he doesn't need to be recording that boy all the time, but you can genuinely tell that he loves his son. With Sky Jackson's man, it just seems like he has nothing to offer, which is so sad. Like, I'm so sad for her. And he's chopped too. Oh lord. I really hope that baby get her genes. Like, he had posted talking about like, oh, I had gotten this Disney bit pregnant or something like that. And Sky Jackson ran and defended him, talking about he was hacked. We are finished. Deuces, and deuces.
She says she wanna dance, but she don't know how to.
Okay, get ready with me while I tell the story on how Sophia LaCourte stole my boyfriend. Okay, just bear with me because there's so many little this is not supposed to be my face. There's so many little parts and I am really bad at storytelling, so this could go long or like I could miss details. Like, there's just, bear with me. So there are some key points that I feel like I should point out first. Oh no. One is going to be, I was in high school. I'm 23 now. I can't sit here and say that I think about this daily, that it is something that stops me from sleeping. I genuinely posted this because of the fact that it's just funny that this literally happened to me. A little different scenario, but when it happened to me, I was not the victim, unfortunately. One main question is, did you go to high school together? No, we didn't. You didn't have to go to high school together to know people, though, in our area. New Jersey is very small, and Monmouth County, everybody knows everybody, and if you live here, you know that. Like, were we friends? No. Literally, we probably knew of each other. I know that she definitely knew that my boyfriend, the boy that she was going for at the time, had a girlfriend. That's a definite for sure. She hung around a lot of my high school's friend groups. So she was a wrestling book girl and he was a wrestler. I was the wrestling girlfriend. I was at every single event of his wrestling matches. You can't say that you didn't know he had a girlfriend, that is for sure. Especially if you did stalking, I was posted. Now, there's where the boy went wrong, is that he did cheat on me a lot. So is this expected on his side? Abso-freaking-lutely. Was I dumb for staying? Like, yes, we all know that. I was literally 16, 17, 18, so on. We did date for 4 years. Besides the freaking point. On St. Patty's Day, my high school and every other high school in Monmouth County, like I said, and even other counties, went to St. Patty's Day parade in New York. We all would skip school. It was something I was genuinely so excited for until I got a beautiful, bright, early good morning text from my boyfriend saying, I'm breaking up with you. 5 minutes into my devastating breakup that I thought we were both grieving over, I see a Snapchat from one of my friends of my boyfriend at the time's story. Now, I understand, like, gingers and St. Patty's Day go like this together. Sorry for anyone that's a ginger that I offend. Anyway, but I didn't know that meant, like, go get yourself one on St. Patty's Day. Because I see my current boyfriend and Sophia together in a pic, booed up, like they've been dating for years. I then am in shambles because there's one thing to break up. It's another now to go see your boyfriend that you just spent 3 years with another girl the same day after him breaking up with you. I DM her and I'm like, hey girly, you're with my boyfriend. Basically, like, it's not technically my boyfriend. He literally broke up with me today to hang out with you, like, just to let you know. I probably was a lot meaner in the text. I wasn't the sweetest girl in high school. Whatever, sue me. So my heart was in her DMs. Like, I poured everything I could into that DM to be like, please give me my boyfriend back. I'm freaking out. That she was out with that day that went to high school with me and knew about my relationship. So I don't think that she can sit there and say she didn't know. Also, the boyfriend at the time did tell me she did know, but all he had to do was break up with me. It goes on, I am crying throughout the day, I am a mess. But I see them in the train station. And I went up to her to try and have a talk with her and my boyfriend, ex-boyfriend I guess in the moment. And she turned away from me and turned her back to me. I don't know if she knows what genuine feelings and emotions are. Because then she proceeded to tell my boyfriend at the time she's crazy and I'm a mean girl. I'm gonna fast forward because after all of this drama kind of just like went down. Eventually they stopped talking and she never answered my DM. So now let's skip forward to freaking like freshman year of college. We had broken up, me and this man finally, whatever. I see that they were talking again. But this boy was always constantly hitting me up, saying he missed me, saying all this stuff. So as a nice girl who was getting over all of her sweet trauma with this boy, DMs this girl again, Sophia, and is like, hey, just want to let you know, I do see you guys are talking, but he is still hitting me up. Like, we do still have a lot of baggage. I am just making you aware. I don't want any trouble. No answer. Rude. But okay, that's fine. You know what? You don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I'm glad we're finally on the same pages here. Now, COVID comes around, I start to get a little bit of TikTok followers, and by a little bit, I mean like 45K, correct? Now, this is where it gets a little weird, and I'm sure enough, I'm gonna get a lot of comments saying, she doesn't owe you anything, but just listen, I hope you're here. I'm on TikTok Live, and I get a message from Sophia on my TikTok Live saying, can we be best friends? Now, at this time, she had no TikTok followers at all. So it's just a little ironic to me that now I have a little bit of clout and you want to share again? And you couldn't answer my DM about me being genuinely brokenhearted, but you can set up on my TikTok and be like, can we be besties after getting with the same man? After stealing my boyfriend. You want to be best friends? No, that's not the way I work. I do not work like that. I don't want to be fake best friends. I don't want anybody in my friend group that I can't trust. I know I don't owe anybody anything, but if I have the knowledge of knowing that a boy was with somebody or treated a girl like shit, I just believe in like, you get them or you lose them the same way that you got them, which is exactly what happened in this case. I feel like it's dumb to say, but I genuinely don't wish like hate or anything on anybody. I do think that it was a really shitty scenario. We were young. Sometimes people are put in shitty scenarios. There's definitely two sides to every story. No one deserves any type of hate, but I'm just explaining my side of the story, how it happened to me. You know, I saw an open door and I walked in. Also, funny enough, when she got her like fame and her followers, she unfollowed me. So I guess he didn't really want to be besties, but that's okay. Me neither. She seems super gorgeous. She is probably super cool, just not my type of girl, and that's okay. Okay, so this is the final look. I'm going to a wedding, I don't know if I said that. But what I do want to say is I'm super happy with my current boyfriend, and life works in weird ways, so.
He blocked me again. I keep asking me for a love life update, and the reason that I haven't given one is because there really isn't one. So a few weeks back, I made a get ready with me to see my sneaky link, and I explained to y'all how I've been seeing this dude on and off for a few years, and how like he'll block me and then he'll come back, and like he just basically treats me like shit, but lately he's been acting right. Well, we went out like I told you guys. We went to see Beetlejuice. It was a good time. We went out to like our normal spot that we always go to after, and we just hung out, and it was cute and it was sweet, and like, yeah. And normally, the way that we operate with each other is that, like, whenever we want to fuck is when we'll hit each other up. We don't text each other. We don't talk to each other in between, like, you know what I mean? But lately, we've been texting nonstop, always talking, like, as if we were, like, good friends with, like, benefits, I guess. Like, a few weeks prior to this, when we started talking again, me and him had, like, an actual conversation about, like, do you have feelings for me? Like, what's going on? Why do you keep blocking me? And basically, he told me that the last time was because he started talking to this girl. But then he stopped talking to her, so he came back to me, and I was like, okay, well, you're a whore, but that's fine. And he started explaining to me that, like, the reason that he keeps doing this over and over again for the past few years is because he doesn't know if he has feelings for me or not, and he's still not over all the stuff that happened a few years ago. Like, if you remember my best friend's brother story time, this is the same dude. So flash forward back to the Beetlejuice date, right? Honestly, like, I'm a little conflicted, but I'm really starting to think, like, maybe he does have feelings for me, and maybe, like, he wants to take this further than we have been, and I'm just like, I don't know about that. Because honestly, I don't even know if I like him like that. I do this thing where I'll convince myself that I like a guy or a girl or whoever the fuck that I'm like seeing, simply because I like the attention and I like the thought of them, but I don't really like them. So I'm already conflicted in my head. But regardless, at this point, I'm just happy that we're like cool again and that we can be friends and we can talk and whatever, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, fast forward 2 days. So I wake up in the morning to a text from my best friend basically telling me that like we can't be friends anymore because her girlfriend's insecure. You guys know the story. You saw it. My first thought is I'm gonna rant to somebody, because if I don't, I'm literally just gonna go off on her, and that's not gonna be a good idea. I go to open Snapchat because that is the only place that we don't have each other blocked on, so that's where we've been communicating for the past few weeks. And as I open Snapchat so I can rant to him about what the fuck just happened, bitch, he blocked me. He blocked me. And I'm just bamboozled as hell because I thought everything was going good. Like, I thought we were actually on good terms this time. Was I expecting a relationship? Not really, but I thought we were at least gonna be friends. See, normally I wouldn't care because obviously I'm fucking used to it at this point. But this time around, it's just annoying because I'm kind of fucking over it. Either we're cool and we're friends and we're on good terms, or we're gonna do what we're gonna do, or we're not. Like, make up your fucking mind. But me being me, I am super extremely fucking nosy. So I did go to his TikTok because he's in my contacts so I could find his TikTok, you know? And I went to his repost, and bitch, he's messy. Basically, like, half of his TikToks are about, like, how he's in love and how, like, the girl that he's in love with isn't the same as, like, she used to be, and how, like, he needs to get over her and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, oh. I'm like, is this play about us? Because one of them was really, really specific to our situation when we just started talking again a few weeks ago. And I was like, wow, the timing of him reposting this, I'm like, maybe it is about me, but I don't know. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I think I'm just kind of fucking over it. Give him like a week or two and he'll be back like he always is. And I think at this point, I'm just kind of done. Like,
I'm always on your left. And right now you're getting on my last nerve. Switch.
Guys, I've been unintentionally gatekeeping this story, and now it's time. About a month ago, I went on a first date with a man I had met on Hinge. We'd been talking for like almost a month before we went on this first date. On our first date, he told me he had been separated for 2 years and divorced for 2 months, which felt a little quick to me. Yeah. I shared with him that I had been recently love bombed and that I was like really trying to slow things down on the dating front and take things really slow because I learned my lesson. Right after the first date, next day he immediately asked me on a second date. I'm like, no, don't want to move too quickly. Ask me on a date for the next day. No, don't want to move too quickly. Tuesday comes around. He's like, do you want to go on a date tomorrow? Meaning Wednesday. I was like, look at you planning in advance. Let's do it. I said yes to Wednesday. I had plans that Tuesday night to go over to a friend's house for a going away party. And he texted me and was like, hey, I can't wait until tomorrow to see you. Do you want to just grab quick drinks before your going away party? And I was like, yeah, that'd be great. So we go out to drinks at this awesome spot in DC. And while we're sitting there, we're having normal conversation. And I'm joking about the fact that he is 36 because I always find myself dating people in the age range 34 to 36. It's just like my sweet spot. And he's like, well, actually, I have to tell you something. I'm actually 39. My age is wrong on my Hinge. And I was like, do you think I'm stupid? If you got divorced 2 months ago and that's when you made your Hinge, you were lying. If you made it back when you were 36, you were cheating on your wife. So what? Also, I'm pretty sure your Hinge updates every year, like as you get older. Like I'm pretty sure it changes by itself. So I was like, what the fuck? That's so weird of you. I literally demanded he show me his physical ID because I thought that was so weird. And I was really creeped out. And honestly, I should have been out then. So I see his ID, he's actually 39, and I say to him, this is so weird of you. There's no good time when you're dating girls on Hinge to tell them that you're not the age you put on your profile. Like, you could tell them in that first message, or you could tell them, like, when on your wedding day, and no matter what, that's fucking weird of you. Like, that's never gonna be a normal conversation that girls are just okay with. Like, just make it your regular age. Obviously, you're trying to show up on Hinge for, like, young women who you can, whatever. Anyway, so we finish drinks, we kiss, it's a good time. He goes home, I go to my friend's going away party. And I pose a question to the group. I'm like, hey, he lied to me about his age. It feels kind of sus. What does everyone think? My best friend, who was right, is like, get out of that situation. That is freaky, girl. But all my other friends at the party were kind of like, oh, you're just collecting data. Like, that's a first data point. Like, yes, that's concerning, but why don't you collect more data and see how you feel about the guy? Because at the time, I really liked him. We had great chemistry. He was super attractive. Like, we just vibed. But also, like, maybe part of that vibe and part of why that was exciting is because I could sense, like, something was off, or, like, we had that chemistry because, like, there was that excitement and spark. But, like, a lot of the time, like, good, healthy relationships start, like, more of a slow burn, or, like, with a friendship. Like, I should have known that that spark was indicative of, like, there's something wrong here. So now it's Wednesday. It's time for our pre-planned date. And the first 2 dates he had come into DC for me. He lives in Maryland. So I said, hey, I'd be happy to come out to Maryland for you. I feel badly that you're always coming to DC. And he was like, well, you don't have a car. And I was like, I have a Metro card. And have you ever heard of that Uber? Or do 36-year-olds not know about Uber? He was like, oh, I have a surprise for you. Be ready at 7. Me, having watched every fucking rom-com, was like, this is so cute and romantic. I'm so excited. Dumb, dumb, dumb. So he comes, he picks me up in his car. I'm like, wow, this is like a real date. He's picking me up, he's driving me to the place, and it's all a surprise. I don't even know where we're going. He takes me to this restaurant in DC called Mercy Me. Food was incredible. And I'm like, thank you so much for dinner. Like, was this a surprise? And he's like, no, I have one more surprise. This man proceeds to say, oh, I have to work in Arlington tomorrow, so I decided to spend the night in DC so I don't have to schlep all the way from Maryland to Arlington for work at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Spending the night in DC, got a hotel room, but what he didn't do was ask me to stay over with him. Like, he's that good. Like, he didn't ever explicitly ask that. He made me think it was my decision. So dinner ends, we like go to a bar, we grab a couple of drinks. I'm not even drinking. I'm literally like dead sober, and I made these decisions. But we walk out of the restaurant, he's like, do you want me to drive you home, or do you want to come up to my hotel room? And I was like, I could use a hotel room tour. Go, hotel room tour, one thing leads to another. Take that as you will. Probably wasn't my best call. Anyway, I wake up in the morning at my own house. I'm on a high. I'm like, last night was so amazing. He's texting me. I'm like, we're getting married. But then I'm sitting there and I'm thinking really hard about it. And where he lives in Maryland is like 30 minutes from me. And Arlington is like 20 minutes from me. And I don't understand logically why someone would get a hotel in the city to not have to drive an extra 20 minutes in the morning. Something's not adding up. My spidey senses, something was wrong. My gut, women's intuition, something was off. I start thinking, I offered to come to his. He lives in his own house. I, live in a house with 3 roommates. The only reason I wouldn't want someone to come to my house would be if I was still living with my wife. So that activates the crazy in me. And I go to the internet and I pay for a background check, $25. Highly recommend doing that. Honestly, do it before your first dates. I should have done it way, way back. And I find every single thing about this man, right? Like his entire family, every address he's lived in since his college dorm, every traffic citation he's ever gotten, every piece of dirt on this man. And you know what isn't there? Divorce papers. So I start freaking out. I'm like, why are there no divorce papers? Could they be sealed? Like, are divorce papers even public record? I've never been divorced. I call the Maryland County court system and I ask them, hi, do you have any divorce records under his name and his wife's maiden name? They don't have any. I say, can you tell me if there's a sealed record under either of their names? They say, yes, we can tell you if there's a record, but we can't tell you what's in it. I said, awesome. Do you have records under either of these names? No records in the state of Maryland. I contact my family friend who's a lawyer. I say, hey, do you have to get divorced in the state where you're living? And they said, yeah, you have to get divorced in the state where either you or your partner is living. And I had both their names on the lease of their home address from my background check. I knew they both lived in the state of Maryland since 2012. If they had gotten a divorce, it would be in the Maryland court system. So I'm realizing this man is married. So what do? I go on Facebook and I post in the Are We Dating the Same Guy DC Facebook group. I say, hey, this is Danny. And I include a picture of him. I say, he lied about me to his age. Something feels sus. I tell the whole hotel story and ask anyone if they know anything. Within an hour, my post is blown up. Hundreds of women commenting how sus the hotel thing is and that it's happened to them before. He's definitely married and cheating. A couple hours later, a comment comes in. Hi, I'm the wife. Call me. I'm so sorry to do this, but I have to do a part 2. Come to part 2 to find out what the wife says.
You can run, but you can hide.
Get ready with me for Coachella day 1. We're starting off the morning bright and early with our cucumber lime salute for hydration because it's hot out here and it's gonna be a long day. We need sunscreen. It's literally like a UV of 12 outside, so I'm gonna go in with my Kiehl's SPF 50. We literally got here last night with just enough time to like unpack and wind down, so we haven't really been out yet, but the town is popping. I've honestly been stalling doing my makeup all morning. It's like 12:15 and we have to leave here at 1. I'm just scared, like I don't know how I want to do it because I'm gonna be sweating all day. I've seen a lot of different makeup routines. I don't know which one I'm gonna do. Of course I'm going in with e.l.f. Power Grip. That's like a must. And we're gonna go in with Glowing Sculpt just so I look glowy. Even though I'll probably be sweating, I don't need much help with that. Letting that dry down. I've gone to Vegas in the summer when it's like 114 degrees, and so I'm gonna try to keep it like that. And usually in Vegas, I just don't wear powder and I just wear creams. And I just hope that they don't slide off my face because the powders will start to separate. So it's like, which one do you want? This is such a battle for me. Do I want the Fenty Beauty Stick or do I want the Maybelline 24-Hour Skin Tan? I think I'm gonna lean this way because I also think this matches my spray tan a little bit better. Fingers crossed, because here we go. I know that already looks like a lot, but trust me, that's way less than I normally do. And then I think I'm just gonna bring like my little sponge with me and just touch up as the day goes on. My problem areas are probably gonna be where my sunglasses sit. I'm probably gonna have a lot of makeup pick up there, and then I'm a smiler, so probably around my smile line, so I'm gonna try to not do too much makeup there, so there's just less product that could move around. But let's talk, let's get into some girl chat. I am nervous, okay? We're going to the Celsius event today. Me and Jamal, I'm here with my boyfriend, and I have no idea what I'm wearing, but also just like, I'm nervous to like meet people, and I feel like people in this space have so many friends and like they just already are in like little cliques, and it's like I don't have a whole lot of social media friends. Hopefully I run into some of them so I have people to talk to, but I'm definitely nervous and I want to make friends. And then I also have a little bit of FOMO. It definitely was on my 2024 vision board to like go to Coachella with a brand and get to stay in one of those really cool houses, and I'm seeing my friends and my mutuals there and I'm just like, I'm so happy for them. But man, comparison is the thief of joy. It's like I'm having a great time. I need to like get off the internet. This NARS blush is gorgeous. It's their liquid blush in Orgasm. It's just very light. I'm using my light products right now. And tomorrow's Revolve Fest, which you guys helped me get invited to, so I'm super excited for that. Again, I don't know what I'm wearing, so it's a little bit scary, but it'll come to me, right? Hopefully I packed something that I can work with. I'm pretty much done with my face. I'm gonna do a little bit to my eyes, but I'm gonna put on my Sanshu lip stain first because no matter what, I need to have something on my lips today. And this will just ensure that there's always color on my lips. Well, I left my eyeshadow palette at home. That's okay. I think I'm just gonna do a super glittery lid. I'm gonna do a little bit of this powder bronzer
just for some definition on the eyelid. This really helps when you're taking pictures like in direct sunlight. Your eyes have a little definition. Then I'm just gonna take my Fenty Beauty Diamond Balm and just start going all over my lid. Super messy, just so that it catches the light. I'm really scared. Do I not set my under eye? Like, they're not creasing right now. I like the face. It's giving. I just don't know the length of the stay. So I go with a powder blush. I feel like if I use any powder, like that already puts it in a certain category. I'm just gonna put on some glitter and call it a day. Honestly, we're gonna set the face with a setting spray. We're gonna triple set, but I'm also kind of scared to use this one since I didn't use any powder. What are we really mattifying? So we're gonna start with this one. We're gonna do a really small layer. That wasn't a lie, that wasn't a small layer. Now this is the Milk Hydro Grip and Set Refresh Spray. A little bit of her and the Urban Decay All Nighter. Give it to me all night. Thank goodness I got my lashes done. I like to make my eyes pop, so I'm gonna go in with a nude under eyeliner. So I go in with a tiny bit of a lower mascara. No. I feel like I should have taken this off before I sprayed my face. Definitely remove your stain before, oh, it's all over my teeth. Definitely remove the stain before you set your face. I got braid spray. I'm gonna spray my braids just so that my scalp doesn't get all dry, because I'm also gonna put sunscreen in my scalp. This is the final face. Now go to part 2 for the get dressed with me. Bye!
I'm taking my boyfriend out on a little date night tonight because, you know what, he just deserves it, okay? It's my boyfriend, he pays for everything. Like, literally was shouted to me if I tried to pay, you know what I mean? I'm not complaining, okay? I feel like a little princess. But sometimes I want to pay, okay? I'm also feeling a couple of drinks tonight, okay, girls? I can't lie. So, I may be already starting on the cosmos. I also feel like getting drunk with your boyfriend is just the most fun ever. Like, I feel like we just have the most giggly time. I do really bronzy glam today, hence like the basically Oompa Loompa chest, but I just love it, okay? Cream bronzer as like cream eyeshadow, but I'm also taking it down my nose just to like pre-contour it. And it with a shimmery bronzer just to make sure it's like got a little bit of shimmer to it. I don't want it like super matte, like I love a sparkly eye. I use this eyeshadow topper from Jordana T-shirt, the third one. I've actually never used it before, but I think it's perfect. Tapping it in the middle of the eye just for a halo eye effect rather than like all over. Smudge it out and make it a little bit smokier, so I'm just taking a dark brown and just smudge it onto that lash line. Just adding more depth. Why am I in my makeup palette zero again? Oh my god. Come over me, I'm putting lashes on. Me, lashes, the girl who can't apply lashes. Alexa, play 2010 throwbacks. I got so used to doing my makeup the exact same time every single time that I forget that like looks like this. I love doing. Now I got my shit together. Ay, so sorry that it didn't work out. Really need to sit down and start playing with makeup more often again, like just like when I'm not doing anything. So I discovered that I love this. It's been sat there for months probably, or whenever it came out, and I've still never used it except like whenever it was out. I miss though like OG YouTube days, like makeup, that era. Come home after school and like everyone had uploaded a new makeup tutorial. You know what I mean? Like I miss that so much. A new 6 bronzer I've used in the eyes just so everything is all connected together. I feel like it also like really like bronzes your skin. For a reason, Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I always forget how like actually creamy it is. See, I'm like using new makeup today. I feel like I'm on a high right now. Like I'm so giddy and happy. Let me just zoom you into the skin right now. I TikTok the other day, it blew my mind. You know your powder puff? That you can literally just do that and then use the clean other side. Most common knowledge ever, but I didn't know that, so it blew my mind. Is it a darker lip, or is this? I feel that's fine. Never ever leave my lips matte anymore, but I'm questioning why, because I just love how this looks. I don't want to add a gloss to this right now. Maybe I should just take one out with me, just in case. In fact, I don't even need to. This phone case, lifesaver. Exactly how I wanted my makeup to go, like the eyes, the bronze, just... I'm off on a date night. I'm so excited. Lads, bye.